We've been talking a lot about WWF video games for the past few months. What about WCW? Well, November 1994 saw the SNES release of... Well, I'll just let Tony Schiavone tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, FCI presents WCW SuperBrawl Wrestling.
Gotta love those Mode 7 graphics. I have to confess, I didn't know about this game for years. I never heard anything of its release, I never read anything about it in magazines, and never saw it in stores. Years later, when I heard people talk about a 16-bit WCW game, I thought it was just an urban legend. But lo and behold, it exists, and it's okay, I guess. SuperBrawl features a solid roster of 12 wrestlers. Sting, Ric Flair, Vader, Rick Rude, Brian Pillman, Johnny B. Bad, Ron Simmons, Ricky Steamboat, Dustin Rhodes, Barry Windham, and Rick and Scott Steiner? Hold up.
The camel has 5 humps. Sally the camel has 5 humps. So ride, Sally, ride. Boom, boom.
The game came out in 1994, but the Steiners left WCW in 1992. I've said before, due to the nature of the wrestling business and long lead times for programming, whenever any wrestling game comes out, there are probably going to be a few characters no longer with the company. For example, Ron Simmons left a few months before SuperBrawl was released, and there was really nothing FCI could do about it. But this is absurd. When the game came out, the Steiners had already left the WWF, the company they left WCW for. Maybe FCI felt bad they didn't have Scott in the WCW NES game, or maybe they just wanted to have 4 Ricks in the game. By the way, FCI, why no Steve Austin in the game? Especially since you can see him in pictures on the options screen. No wonder he got so bitter. What SuperBrawl might best be known for, oddly enough, is the character selection screen. Rather than just pictures of the wrestlers, the game features little 2-frame animations of the roster. It's weirdly hypnotic. Then the wrestlers will jump out and yell at you. A few of them do their catchphrases, and some just say weird things. Ricky Steamboat says,
Who deserves the belt?
which is odd because he's wearing a title belt, so I would hope he deserves it. Rick Steiner says,
It's not my fault.
okay. I guess we know what game Gene Snitsky played as a kid. And Ron Simmons, or someone doing a poor imitation of him, says,
Show me respect.
hey, don't step to Ron. Anyway, if you can tear yourself away from the selection screen, you can actually play the game. You can have singles or tag matches and play them in exhibition mode, have an 8-man or 4-team tournament, or the ultimate challenge. It's just the usual beat everyone else to win the game mode. But the game does include a password feature to track your progress, which is cool. And that's it for game modes, but the game gives you a lot of match options. For the difficulty settings, instead of easy, medium, or hard, it's TV title, US title, and world title, which is pretty clever. You can also do a single fall match, the traditional 3 out of 5 falls, or a 3, 5, 10, or 15-minute Iron Man match. And you can carry over those options to any mode. Want an Iron Man tag tournament? Hey, have at it. Still, given all the options WWF Raw threw at you, it would have been nice to have a little bit more. War Games was probably out of the question, but why not a Thunder Cage like they had at that year's actual SuperBrawl pay-per-view? The presentation's okay. The game features an isometric view of the ring a la Fire Pro, and the details are pretty good. Tony Schiavone will even chime in with some commentary, and since it's before 1996, he doesn't just talk about the NWO. But he doesn't say much except, or,
Bam!
look at the ref when he's standing still. Does he have to go to the bathroom and he's just holding it in? The wrestlers look a little off to me. You can tell who everyone is, but they just look strange. Brian Pillman looks more like Young Pistols era Tracy Smothers to me. For God's sakes, where are Vader's pants? The game forgoes a grappling system in favor of just grabbing your opponent and hitting a move. The bad news is everyone has the same moves outside of finishers, resulting in silliness like Vader doing drop kicks and sunset flips. But there are a good amount of different moves to do, and one cool feature is when you pick someone up for a slam, you can hold them up until you decide to drop them. You can come off the top rope or do a running move, which I rarely do. Wrestlers will roll to their feet quickly after moves, so matches are often an exchange of slams and suplexes. Plus the controls are sluggish, and getting your player in position to run can be a challenge. Finishers are present in the game, and are done fairly well for the most part. Since you can't do moves out of the corner, they just gave Barry Windham a delayed vertical suplex. I don't know what the hell Vader's doing. Is it that hard to program in a powerbomb? Anyway, you get the wrestler doing their catchphrase when you hit a finisher, mostly to confirm that, yes, Johnny B. Bad's finisher is just a punch. We're used to just having your wrestler's health bar at the top of the screen, if that, but in SuperBrawl they show you a lot more. There's a health bar, which can regenerate fairly quickly, leading to your opponent stalling like Larry Zbyszko. There's also a strength meter, which is actually more of a stamina meter. Do too many moves too fast and you can tire yourself out and be more susceptible to pinfalls. The 4 circles on the left are for finishers. Hit enough offense and a little circle is filled, meaning you can hit your specialty move. You can store up to 4 at a time and then save them, or unleash them all in a row. It's a cool feature that would reappear almost a decade later in the SmackDown series. SuperBrawl is a hodgepodge of innovative ideas and muddled gameplay. If you're a diehard fan of pre-Hogan WCW, you'll probably enjoy it, but not for too long. Don't worry though, things will get much better for WCW in a few years, but we'll get to that in a bit. Until then, thanks for watching, and remember, a winner is you.
Get in the ring, jump, and let's thump. A couple of blows and I'ma put you on your rump. Chop, chop, bam, then a left, right, and a kick, and a pin to the 1, 2, 3, then it's over with. So give that bell a whack, and I'ma put this man on his back. Cause when I'm in the ring, I'm a wrestling nightmare, straight from Georgia. And if you don't think I'm hard, you ought to put on your trunks, let's go to war. Straight up knuckle, I'ma slam your head against the turnbuckle. A one-man army ready to fight, slamming bodies left and right. So keep talking all that junk, but bring it to the circle, and I'ma put your body on.